Today's lesson objective is students will be able to solve two-step algebraic equations without the calculator. So to be able to do this, I broke it down to 3 basic steps for you. Step 1 is going to be the distributive property. So use distributive property to get rid of any parentheses, okay? So in any equations you see that have parentheses, the first thing you're going to want to do is use distributive property. Step 2 is going to be getting rid of addition and subtraction. Use inverse operations to get rid of addition or subtraction. Inverse operations being the opposite operation. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is division. And then lastly, step 3 is the same thing, but now we're going to be getting rid of multiplication and division. Okay, so let's apply these steps to example 1. In example 1, the equation is 3x plus 5 equals 14. So not all the time are you going to have to do all 3 steps, right? Because in this one, there's no parentheses. So we're going to jump down to step 2. Step 2 says to use inverse operations to get rid of any addition or subtraction. So in this problem, I see I have a plus 5. I want to get rid of addition and subtraction first. So I want to get rid of that plus 5. What's the opposite of plus 5? The opposite of plus 5 is minus 5, because the inverse of addition and subtraction. Whatever you do on one side, you want to do on both sides. Here it cancels out. 3x is now left alone on that side. Bring down the equal sign, and then combine 14 and negative 5. We did this last week with the integer rules. When they are different signs, you subtract them and you take the sign of the bigger number. So we should know that that's going to give us a 9, a positive 9. Now we can move on to step 3, use inverse operations to get rid of multiply or divide. You may think that there's no multiply or divide here, but there actually is. In between the 3 and the x, there's a multiplication symbol. The 3 is being multiplied by the x. So the inverse or the opposite of multiply is divide. You are going to divide both sides by the number in front of x, which is 3. So x is going to equal 9 divided by 3, both positive numbers. So my answer is going to be positive 3. X equals 3. Example 2, 2x minus 5 equals negative 25. Again, we're going to skip step 1 because there's no parentheses in this problem. The first thing I want to get rid of here is going to be the minus 5. I do so by doing plus 5, plus 5. So 2x equals negative 25 plus 5. They are different signs again, so you subtract 25 minus 5, you get 20. And we take the sign of the bigger number. 25 is a bigger number than 5, and the 25 is negative. So my answer is going to be negative 20. Now I want to get rid of the 2. Remember that the 2 is being multiplied by the x, and the inverse of multiply is divide. So I divide both sides by 2. When you divide a negative and a positive, the answer is negative. So x is equal to negative 10. Okay, in example 3, we have parentheses. So we're going to do distributive property for this one. So distributive property means you take what's outside the parentheses, which is -4, and you multiply it by everything that is inside the parentheses. So we have -4 times x plus, always plus, -4 times 3. Bring down your equal sign, bring down 24. -4 times x is going to give me -4x. And then -4 times 3 is going to give me -12. So I'm going to write -12 and bring down the equal sign, bring down the 24. Now it looks just like the problems we had earlier. It's a two-step now. So let's finish it. Now I want to get rid of the -12. The opposite of -12 is +12. So +12 on the left, +12 on the right, same thing on both sides. That cancels out. We're going to bring down -4x, bring down the equal sign, and then add 24 and 12, and that gives us 36. Lastly, we want to get rid of the -4. Again, in between the -4 and the x is multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. I have to divide everything by -4. So x is going to equal, remember the rules for division. When you have a positive and a negative and you're dividing, same as multiplying, the answer is negative. How many times does 4 go into 36? That's 9, because 9 times 4 is 36. So x equals -9 in this one. Example 4, n over 4 minus 4 equals -12. No parentheses, so we're going to skip step 1. Step 2 is to get rid of addition and subtraction. So I'm going to get rid of the -4. I'm going to do so by adding 4. Bring down the n over 4. Cross out the 4's. Bring down the equal sign. -12 plus 4. We're adding same different signs, so we're going to subtract them. And it gives us 8. The bigger number is negative, so it's -8. Now I want to get rid of this 4 right here. This fraction bar means division. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So what I'm going to have to do is multiply both sides by 4. So n over 4 times 4 equals -8 times 4. Those 4's cancel out and leave one n. -8 times 4 is going to give me -32. That's all the examples I have for you today. Good luck on your classwork.